Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be joining the ladies for Mixed Media Frenzy and I will be doing a 12 by 12 layout. I pulled out some Heidi Swap texture paste to use on my layout today together with that stencil. And I'll also be using some distress inks. Now, I will go ahead and list all of the items I used today down in my description box. Now, all of us participating today on this collab will be using the mixed media sketch that you're looking at the top right, the top left corner of the screen. And you'll notice that it looks like they use the packaging technique along with a stencil or even some stamping in that sketch. But today, instead of doing the packaging technique, I am going to be using these distress inks together with my dauber. And you'll see here, I'm just applying the first color randomly all around where my photo would be. And next up, I'll go and do the same with the second color. And I will add the exact colors I used down in my description box. Now, once I begin using the second color, I did not get the effect that I was going for. It was a bit too light. So you'll notice that I did change the technique that I used. Instead of using the dauber, I go ahead and just swipe my ink pad across my cardstock. Now I am using American Crafts cardstock, white textured cardstock, and I did not gesso my cardstock before applying the ink or the texture paste to it. And here's where I went ahead and just swiped that ink pad, and I love the effect that it gave together with the color that I used previously and the finger dauber. So now I'm going to go ahead and use this heart stencil along with the Heidi Swap texture paste. And I'm using my Prima Silicone brush to go ahead and push that texture paste through that stencil. And I'm just applying it in the areas that you see that bit of circles in the sketch. And I do bring mine up just a tiny bit more than it is in the sketch. Now I add some to the bottom, and I'm going to add some to that top right cluster that I'm creating. And next I'll go into the bottom once again and basically add some texture paste through the stencil to gradually phase it out instead of having that severe stop that I have right now. Now the photo that I'm documenting today is of my daughter, and here she's all dressed up and ready for her christening, and this photo was taken back in 2005. Now to finish off my background, you saw there I added some gold acrylic ink, and that is by Liquitex, and here I'm going to go ahead and map my photo. Now I had this textured paper sitting on my desk, so I decided to go ahead and use it up as much as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and back my photo on that white texture paper. Next, I added some vellum behind it, and here I'm adding in some pattern paper, and this pattern paper is from the Indigo and Ivy collection by Pink Paisley. So here I'm just adding in a bit of this mint color, also from the Indigo and Ivy collection, and I'm adding that just to two corners of my photo, and I did that thinking I would add a bit more of that mint in later on, but I ended up not doing that. But it does not show up too much that it's too obvious and it looks out of place. I really love how it looks in the end. So here I am going to go ahead and add my title, and you may notice that I do add a long title, and some of the words that I want to add here is not on that sticker sheet. So I'm going to use random letters from different words on this sticker sheet to go ahead and create those words that I cannot find on this sheet here. So my title is going to read, "You Make My Heart Happy," and the words heart, happy, and the word you all came from the sticker sheet. And there you can see me searching for the letters to create the words make and the word my. Now be sure to check out all of the other crafty ladies participating in this collab today, and I will have all of their channels listed in my description box. And if you are coming over from one of their channels, I hope you enjoy my process today. I do plan on participating in this collab at least once every month, and I hope you consider subscribing. And also don't forget to click on the notification bell. That way you'll know once I post new videos. So here I'm just using some more of that textured paper to add to the top right cluster. And I have this wood veneer piece that came in my kit that I really wanted to use, but I wasn't sure how to use it honestly. So I decided here to go ahead and cut it into 3 separate pieces. And I do use some glossy accent to add that to my background. So there you can see me adding piece of it to the bottom of my photo. I add some to the top right cluster, and I do add some of that wood veneer piece to the left corner of my photo. And here you can see me bending it just a tiny bit, and it does bend really easily. And once it had the adhesive on the back, it stayed in place. Also in my kit I had these stitched circles, and I went ahead and cut out the colors that I wanted to use, and I'm adding some in next to my photo and creating a tiny cluster to the bottom of my title, and I also add one into the top right cluster as well. So now I'm going to go through the die cut pack that came from the Indigo and Ivy collection and select a few butterflies to add on this layout, as well as some floral pieces. I also used a heart as well that would go to the bottom left, the bottom right of my photo. And I'm just using some liquid adhesive to adhere those pieces to my background. So here you can see I'm fussy cutting this little piece off this card, and I'll use that to add my journaling below my photo. And all my journaling says is that this was Stephanie on her christening day and the year that this photo was taken. And I do cut that little piece in half, add half of it with the journaling under my photo, and I add the other part of it to the top right cluster. So here I'm using some stickers from the sticker sheet from the Indigo and Ivy collection, and I'm adding in some hearts all around my layout. And I do go in next with some brads. So next up, I'm going to add in my brads, and these are from the Bliss collection by My Mind's Eye. And I'm just using the tip of my tweezer to create a hole where I'll add those brads in, and I add one to each cluster on my layout. You can see here, even though I did not use the packaging technique, my effect using the distress ink was pretty similar to what you see on the sketch, and I stuck really closely to the layout design on the sketch and also added in a bit of my own as far as the cluster goes on the left corner that is not in the sketch, but I added that in, and I love how this turned out. Now, to do the packaging technique, you could have used the ink pads that I use for the background and simply smeared some of that ink on a piece of packaging, sprayed it with some water, and applied it to your background. And for the circles on that sketch, you could have used, instead of a stencil, you could have done some stamping. You could have used some stamps on there and had that same effect. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and continue adding these brads. And next up, I do add in some heart enamel shapes from the Indigo and Ivy collection. And I add those into my clusters as well. And then I'll give you guys a close-up look at my layout. But first, I do add some Nuvo drops also. And I cannot remember the color Nuvo drops I used on this layout, but I will go ahead and add that down below. So I hope you guys enjoy the process today. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to go ahead and click that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. That way you'll know once I upload new videos. So here we have some still shots of this layout, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Don't forget to check out the other ladies participating in this collab today. And I want to thank you all for watching, and until my next video, bye.